ប្រិមត្ត VOA នៅថ្ងៃនេះយើងមានកិត្តិយសដោយបានលោក John Martin លោកជាអ្នកផលិតករភាពយន្តឯកសារនៃអង្គការអភិរក្សជីវៈចម្រុះអន្តរជាតិហៅថា CI International លោកចូលមកក្នុង studio របស់ VOA ដើម្បីរៀបរាប់អំពីគម្រោងមួយចំនួនដែលអង្គការនេះធ្វើសកម្មភាពនៅក្នុងប្រទេសកម្ពុជា
It is the wet season in Cambodia. At the Tonle Sap, Southeast Asia's largest inland lake, water levels are so high, only the treetops are visible. In the floating village of Akol, people have made this great lake their life. Fishing sustains everyone here. And for Sophie and her husband Mao, life continues much as it has for centuries.
នាងខ្ញុំនៅលើទឹកមនុស្សក៏នៅលើទឹកហើយផ្ទះអ្នកជិតខាងក៏នៅលើទឹកជ្រូកក៏នៅលើទឹកសាលារៀនក៏នៅលើទឹកស្អីក៏ទឹកស្អីក៏ទឹក
Good morning, John.
Good morning, Kimseng.
Thank you so much for dropping by at VOA.
My pleasure.
I watched one of your documentary about success stories. I'm kind of interested in Sophie. Tell me a little bit about her. How she came to this point of success.
Well, Sophie is a fantastic person, character that we met in Akol, which is a small floating village in the province of Persat in Cambodia. And our CI Cambodia team, who's been working in the lake in the Tonle Sap since 2008, told us about Sophie and how involved and active she has been in her community to improve her livelihoods. And thanks to the work that we're doing in the community, she was definitely the best person to tell us her story of success.
Yes, it's quite impressive, John, when I watched the documentary. So can you tell me, because in the documentary you also mentioned that Sophie and her husband has been doing traditional fishing for years, generation. So how did CI do to convince her to take the new method that CI introduced her?
Yeah, great question. CI, when we started working at Akol in the Tonle Sap, the first thing we wanted to do was gain the trust and the confidence of the people, of the villagers. And the best way to do this was to embed ourselves within the community. So we built a floating house that we call the CI floating office. That way there was a constant day and night presence, involvement with the community. At this floating office, we would constantly invite the community to come and listen to our presentations, but really mostly to hear from them, to hear from the community what were their issues, what were their problems, how did they want their lives to be improved and to be better. And with that feedback from the community, CI was able to offer solutions. And I think after the villagers, especially Sophie and her husband Mao, saw that these were viable opportunities for them to improve their livelihoods, the buy-in was there to move forward and adopt these better practices.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, she raised pigs, she also raised fish and also had some kind of saving group. So what was her problem originally before she joined the program?
Well, before Sophie joined the program, as many other villagers, she and her husband relied only on fishing. And unfortunately, because of large-scale commercial fishing around the lake and also illegal fishing, they struggled to make ends meet. So they were forced to overfish. Mao was fishing illegally at night, oftentimes in dangerous situations, and they were only making a very small amount of money. Whenever they needed more money, they would have to rely on loan sharks, which would charge, very high interest. So it was difficult for them to pay off their loans. When CI came in to offer solutions and also working with the government in creating fish conservation areas and to teach also the community new opportunities for sustainable livelihoods, their lives began to improve. So yes, you mentioned fish farms. We showed them how to do a proper sustainable fish farm in their house, how to raise pigs that they could sell and then save the money. And obviously saving the money was a very big opportunity for the villagers to not have to depend on the loan sharks anymore. They created a savings group where local people could pull in amounts of money. CI gave them the idea and the basic concept and the training on how to put this together. And with that, they could offer each other loans that they could pay off at lower interest rates, but everything was controlled by themselves. It was almost like their own small bank.
Quite interesting. Apart from overfishing, are there any other factors which contribute to declining of fish population in the Tonle Sap area that you have observed?
Certainly, overfishing is a big one, but we know that the flooded forests in Tonle Sap are the perfect breeding grounds for fish, and illegal logging of the flooded forest has a huge impact on the fish populations. But really, mainly right now, our big concern is with dams being built in the upper tributaries and lower tributaries of the Mekong River. So we're working, advising the Cambodian government on better ways to think about development, which the country needs, but also food security, which is very, very important for Cambodia.
Thank you so much, John, for dropping by at VOA and talk to us and share this very useful information.
My pleasure, Kimseng. Thank you for having me.